you will be able to create this from the elevation to its annotation, as well as the presentation, all step by step. We'll start off in our floor plan view and we'll zoom out until we see these markers around the drawing. If we select one of these markers and right click and go open with current view settings, this is going to show a side-on view of our building. Now if we go back into our 2D, if you can't see these markers when you zoom out, they're most likely hidden. This is because we don't typically show our elevation markers on our drawing set. To turn on all of the layers so we can make sure we see everything, if we hold in Control and tap L, this is going to bring up our layers. This might look a little bit daunting, but we're just going to stick to this side just over here and make sure that everything's turned on. So if we select the ArchiCAD layer and then go Control A, this is going to select all of the layers. Now you'll notice a little eyeball just on this left hand side. This tells us if a layer is turned on or if it is hidden. So to turn all of these on, we'll click the layer just underneath the ArchiCAD layer to turn all of the eyes off, and then we'll click it once more to turn them all on. This will make sure that everything is showing. If we go OK, then your markers should be showing up. Now, if we go back into the marker again and go open source view, at the moment, we've just got some walls, doors, and a table and chairs. For this building to work, we need to add a roof. And for a sneak peek, this is what we're going to create. So to start, we'll go back to our 2D view. We'll zoom in on our floor plan. From here, we'll hit escape just to make sure we don't have any tools selected. And we'll go to the roof tool. From here, we'll want to make sure the geometry method multiplane is selected. From here, we'll just click on this bottom left-hand corner and we'll drag our mouse all the way up to the top right-hand corner, and then we'll click once more. This will create our roof. At the moment, it's obscuring our floor plan. Now, the first setting we'll want to change is we'll want to go to floor plan and section. And we'll want to change this from outlines only to projected with overhead. And next up, we'll want to go to show on stories and we'll want to select all stories. From here, we'll click outside and then we'll go into home story, this one just here. And we'll click on roof. So much better. So basically what this has done is it's put the roof onto a higher level, but we changed some of the settings so that we can still see the outlines and modify the roof from the floor plan view. This is going to come in very handy. From here, we want to extend out our patio, this slab just here. So we'll extend this out 1.5 meters. To do this, we'll select on the edge of the slab. And when the pet palette opens up, we'll want to select this offset edge setting just here. With that selected, we'll pull our mouse up and we'll click tab once and type in 1500 and then hit enter. From here, we want to add to the slab just in this area here. So we'll select this corner node and then we'll go to add polygon, this one just here. With the geometry method rectangular selected, we'll go from this top left and drag it all the way to this bottom right and click once. And we've now extended that slab across the frontage. From here, we'll go to the column tool. We're going to make a real thick column just in this front portion. Now for the structure, we'll just set it to generic structural, and we'll have this at say 300 for the actual size of the post itself. Now a little trick, if we scroll across, we'll see this anchor point just here. If we click on the top left, and then if we click on the slab just here, it's going to drop our column in perfectly. Let's do the same thing. We'll do it on the right hand side for the anchor point and we'll click just here. Perfect. Now personally, I don't like to have these crosshairs on my columns. So I'll go to floor plan and setting and we're going to go from crosshair and we'll turn that to plane. We'll click off and that is so much cleaner. Now for the material, so it matches our walls, we'll go to aluminium and we'll hit enter. From here, let's deselect by hitting escape and then select the roof. From here, we want to change this blue line here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on its edge and we're going to go to the pet palette once it's activated and go offset edge. By doing this, we're actually changing the shape and form of the roof. So if we push this up all the way until we get to this edge of the column just here, we've now extended our roof and it's actually changed the shape of that roof as well. If we flip to our 3D view, we'll now notice that we've got a roof over our structure, but it's way too high. Now to fix this is actually really easy. But first, there's something I want to share. This is a set of plans that I've drawn up for a real project that's been approved by council. You might have noticed that there's not a lot of labels actually being shown on these plans, but they still got approved by council. A massive time saver that I picked up from a studio up in Brisbane when I was working up there. Now, one of the most powerful tools is using your council's application tracker. So if we just click view, we can see the project and all the details that have been put into it. If we go down, it actually tells us what they actually want shown on the actual plans themselves. Say from your elevations to your sections, your floor plans, all this kind of thing. So after dealing with a bunch of different councils, I've put together a checklist that I use for every single job. So you can just go over there, download it, and adjust it to suit whatever you need. Now to fix this is actually really easy. All we need to do is go to this right hand side. We'll see the pop-up navigator. We just need to click on this once, and from here it's going to open up our project map. If you haven't seen this before, it might look a little bit daunting, but we only need to play with one little area of it for now. And on this left hand side, making sure that we're inside of the project map, we'll go down to the stories just here. Now if we right click on any of these stories, it's going to give us the same options. But if we go to story settings, this is where we set the heights for the building as well as how many stories there are going to be. Now for this one, it's just going to be one story, so we can actually just remove this first floor. So if we go delete story, this will get rid of that story. Now if we click OK, it's going to give us a warning that we've removed one of the stories. This is alright. If we go delete anyway, this is going to bring everything down. Now there's another cool thing we can do. If we go back into the navigator and then right click and go to show story settings, we can actually change the height. Inside of here, if we change the height, say to 4000 and go OK, this is actually going to change the height of the walls and the roof of the project, all with just a few clicks, which can be a really handy tool instead of going through and changing all of the individual wall heights. But for this project, we'll go 3200 and we'll just change this one to 0 and we'll go OK. From here, we want to start changing the shape of the roof to more of a gable style roof like this. Again, this is actually really easy. If we just go back to our 2D view, now if you end up on the roof story, we can go down a story just by holding in Control and pressing down, which is going to bring us down to the ground floor. Or if we want to go to the roof story, we can go Control and press up. This is a really quick and easy way of navigating up and down stories. Now to change the roof, all we need to do is select the roof, and then we'll click on this ridge point just here. With this node selected, we'll just go to our pet palette and go stretch horizontal ridge. We'll click this one just here. Now we'll start dragging our mouse all the way up and we'll click on this blue line just here. If we go into our 3D view, this has changed our roof into a gable roof. If we go back to our 2D view, we can do the same thing for this rear portion of the roof as well. Bring it back all the way to the blue line. And we want to trim off all of the eaves. So in this top palette just here, we'll scroll across until we get to offset. And from here, we'll just go 0 and it'll pop up with a little warning. We'll say keep custom and we'll go OK. This is cropped in our side offsets. Now we'll just want to bring this top and bottom one in as well. So we'll click on this line and we'll drag this one in using the offset edge to bring it all the way down. We'll do the same thing for this bottom one just here and we'll bring it all the way up. Now if we go into our 3D view and we pan around, we'll see that we've got that gable roof all the way through. Now for this roof, we're going to be using a 35-degree roof pitch. So if we now click on our roof, we can do this in 2D or in 3D. If we go up to the top palette, we can change this to 35 and click enter. Again, it's going to come up with this warning. We'll just go OK. From here, we've increased our roof pitch, but our walls don't meet the underside of the roof. Now to do this, we can do this in 2D or in 3D, but I find 3D most intuitive. If we click on this back wall, and if we hold in Shift, and then click on this front wall, and this wall just here. Then if we click on one of the wall nodes, and then on the pet palette, just here, we'll notice stretch height. If we click on this, this is going to allow us to stretch the height of the walls vertically upward. So we'll do this all the way until we get to the underside of the ridge, just here, and we'll click. We'll do the same thing with the columns. We'll select both of them, and we'll select on the node just at the top of the blue line, just here. Clicking this one here, we'll be given an option to go stretch height. So we'll click on this one just here. Now for this one, we'll just type in, say, 3500, and we'll go enter. If we hit escape, it looks pretty messy at the moment. So to clean this up, we'll just select our columns, holding in Shift to select multiple elements at once. We'll select our walls at the same time and our back wall just here. From here, we'll right click in an empty space within the view and we'll go to connect and then we'll go solid element operations. We'll click once. Solid element operations is going to allow us to crop to the top of that roof. With all of these selected, we'll add these as a target We'll now hit escape to deselect everything. And then we'll click on the roof and we're going to select that as the operator. This is the thing that the walls are going to be trimmed to. And we're just going to choose the operation. We're going to go subtraction with upward extrusion. And you'll see a little visual example just here as well. If we now go execute, it's going to crop all the walls and the columns to that roof. And the cool thing is, because we've done it this way, if that roof changes its height, it's also going to crop those walls and the columns all at the same time. All right, let's go undo. From here, if we go to our 2D view, if we zoom on out, if we go to our marker for our elevation, right click, go open source view, we've pretty much got the bulk of the work done. Now to take it from this to this, there's just a few more steps. To get our elevation looking more like this, we'll need to change some of the surfaces of our materials. This is pretty easy. To do this, let's select our columns, these just here. And in our top palette, we'll scroll all the way across until we see by building materials. We'll click this bottom icon just here, and we'll click on this surface just here, and we'll search surface dark gray. We'll go dark gray, this one just here. Perfect. Going to do the same thing with this slab just here. Going to go by building materials. We're going to select this middle edge surface just here. We're going to type in dark, paint dark gray, and same thing for this roof just here. We'll go override surface, this one just here. We'll change this to a, you guessed it, dark gray, and we'll click that one just there. All right, let's click outside. Because those surfaces are the same, they're all going to merge together. From here, we want our roof to match the thickness of the columns that we've got just here. So we'll select our roof and we'll scroll across. Now its thickness is locked because it's a composite. So all we need to do is just go to basic just here. This way we can change the thickness of the roof. Now the walls are 300, but we're going to bump this up to 350 to make it that little bit thicker, which looks more proportional. From here, we'll select this wall just here, and we'll do the same thing. This time we'll go to override outside face surface, and then we'll click on this one. And this time we'll go siding. We're going to go siding medium. Now we don't currently have any vertical weatherboards in this project, so we can very easily change this. If we click on the wall, and we go to options, we go to element attributes and go to surfaces, and we type in siding, and we'll click on this highlighted one here, which is the one that we're using. So this surface here is using this fill just here. So with this in mind, we'll go okay. We'll go to our options, and from here, we're going to go to fills. Now, if we scroll on down until we find plank floor, this one just here, if we go new, we're going to call this one vertical. We'll go okay. With the vertical plank floor selected, we'll go over to rotation and we'll type in 90. Now from here, we also want a bit of a thicker profile. So we'll go into 200 and from there, we'll go okay. Now nothing has changed because we haven't changed the surface just yet. So we'll go to options, element attributes, and we'll go to surfaces. We'll type in siding, medium, this one just here. And we're going to change it from plank floor to plank floor vertical. And we'll go okay. And just like that, we've now got vertical cladding. Knowing how to change surfaces in your project is a massive step forward. Now, if you don't want to worry about your surfaces and you just want a black and white elevation, this is really easy to do. In the top, just up here, if we right click on our elevation and we go to elevation settings, inside of model appearance, if we click on uncut elements just here and we go to uniform pen, color fill, non-shaded, and we go okay, this is going to turn all our pens to black and white. We can even turn off the surface fills if they're not critical at this point in the project. And if the shadow is distracting, we can turn that off too and go okay. And just like that, we've got a very basic, very simple elevation. Now, personally, I like mine with a little bit more color. So let's turn those back on. We'll go to surface color fill, not shaded. We'll turn on the cover fills as well as the shadows. Now for the shadows, we're going to go a little bit lighter. We'll go to 25% and we'll go okay. That way the shadows are a little bit more subtle in our image. Now if we right click and we go to elevation settings. Now one more thing. Now currently our shadows are cast at a 45-degree angle. If we go to 0 and then lower our sun altitude, say to like 15, and then go okay, I find this a lot less distracting on the actual image. And just like that, we're getting closer to our source image. Now for a proper set of plans, notation is critical. and it's actually really easy to add to our plans. So on the left-hand side, let's go to the label tool. And from here, let's just click on our wall. Select vertical cladding. In the offices I've worked in, for notation, we typically always use capitals. So from here, let's click outside, and that will finish our note. Now the note is massive on this elevation at the moment, even though the text size is 2, which is our typical text size that we use for projects. Down the bottom here, we're currently at a scale of 1 to 200. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this to 1 to 100, and that's going to change the size of the text. We'll go over scale in another video. For floor plans, elevations, and sections, we're typically looking at 1 to 100. So if for whatever reason our drawing changes, we just need to change that back. From here, we can modify our text by clicking on its nodes. Once we click on the node, we'll go to the pet palette and make sure we've got move node selected, and then we can drag our note down. Now from the actual main node itself, we'll click and we'll go to stretch, and we'll drag this one across. From there, we can repeat the process for anything that we want noted. Next up is this roof pitch just here. To do this, we'll go to the polyline tool. We'll click on our roof once, and then we'll drag the line up, and we'll click once more along the line of the actual roof itself. And then we'll pull it out and across. We'll hold in shift so it's locked in at that angle. We'll drag that back to this one just here, and then we'll click once more. So that'll finish our operation. Once we've clicked on that node, we'll drag that one just up. So this creates a little angle that we're going to dimension. So if we come to the left-hand side and we scroll down, all the way down till we get to Angle Dimension Tool. So this one just here. Now if we hover over the middle of the line just here and click once, you'll notice 2 dots pop up either side. We're going to do the same thing in this one just here. We'll click in the middle. And from here, we'll notice a little hammer. We'll bring our cursor across and to the right, and then we'll click once. And this is going to create our angle dimension, which just gives us how many degrees the roof pitch is. We can drag this one back in, and for the arrow marker, we typically go something like this. Now the next notation is our height markers for the actual building itself, from the ground, the ceiling height, as well as the ridge. In ArchiCAD, it actually has built-in markers. If we zoom out, we'll notice on the right and left-hand side, we zoom in, it's actually got the heights already shown. Now, if we want this closer to our drawing, if we click between the white and the gray, just here, this is going to pull in our elevation marker. So if we pull this all the way in to about here, this is going to pull in those height markers as well. Same thing for the left-hand side. If we just click, drag that one in, it's also going to pull that in. Now, when we do this on the elevation, it also changes the marker on our floor plan as well. So just something to be mindful of if there's more information we want shown on the left and right-hand side of the building. But back in the elevation, if we now zoom in, we've now got our height markers shown. If we go up to our elevation, right click and go to elevation settings, down the bottom in story levels, we can actually choose what we want to show. So typically I just have these on one side of the elevation if I am showing these. So I'll turn off this left one, and I'll also turn off the storyline itself. This one just here. If I now go OK, it's just going to have the height markers on the right hand side. Which now, if I go over to the left-hand side and use the dimension tool, I can now click on this ground line, I can click on this roof line, and now if I double click in this open space over here, double click, we're now starting to form our dimension, and if we just click once more, we've now got our dimension between those height markers. From here, if I hit escape to deselect the dimension tool, if we select the dimension, go Control D, we can actually shift this dimension out a little bit further. Now, if we want the tails to go all the way to this roof line just here, let's go to our dimension tool and we'll go to custom width. We'll go OK. And from here, if we click the middle and then in the pet palette, if we go to edit length of witness line just here, we'll drag this one all the way across and click once more. The line now continues all the way to our height markers. Now the marker thickness is a bit thicker than our dimension just here. So if we go into our elevation marker and we click elevation settings, from here if we go to story settings, symbol and text, and we go all the way across until we get to the marker, we can change this one to say 6, which is 0.18 millimeters. Click, we'll go OK, and that's going to reduce the size back down. And for our dimension, we're going to match that up as well. We'll scroll on across, we'll change both these to 6 as well. So everything matches up and everything looks very nice. Now, if you can't see the thickness of your pens, if we right click in the open space and we go true line weight, this is going to show us what our drawing is actually going to look like once we've published it. The thickness of our pens helps us emphasize different parts of the drawing, as well as creating depth. If we want to change the name of the markers just here, we just need to go to the navigator, we'd right click and we'll go rename story. We can call this one, say, ceiling, and go OK. Now we'd like to get a height for our ridge as well. Now the way I typically do this is by drawing a polyline, click on the ridge just here, and we'll drag this across, say about 3,500. We'll click enter and enter once more. That'll finish the operation. Let's hit escape and then click on the line. We'll go Control D so we can drag the line just over and across so it lines up with our other height markers. From here, we'll also make sure this one is 6 as well, just so we've got all the same thickness. And from here, we're going to do a custom height dimension. So on our left-hand side, if we go to the dimension tool, inside of the dimension tool, just up in this top left-hand side, if we go to construction method, elevation, and we click on this one just here, if we now click on this line just here, it'll create a little crosshair. Now we'll want to double click just above where we've clicked that original point. So double click, it's going to create that little hammer icon. And with one more click, if we click now, it's going to create that height marker. Cool thing about this, if we hit escape to deselect the tool, we now select the line as well as the dimension marker. If we now tap Control D and then click on our line, we can drag this up, say 100 mil, and you'll notice that the height marker automatically changes as well. We typically want as many elements to automatically update as possible. Now, if we did want this to be automatic, all we need to do is go to the label tool. If we clicked on our roof, if we hit escape, double clicked on our text, if we want to select all, Control A, and deleted the text, and then if we want to insert auto text, and we typed in pitch, and we clicked enter, and just like that, if we hit escape and click outside, we've now got the roof pitch mentioned in our note, which, if we adjust the roof pitch, 32, keep custom, we'll go OK, it is also going to change as well. So this is the more BIM friendly way. It's going to automatically update, whereas this is the more traditional way, which I tend to still use on some projects. Now this one here can change automatically as well. If we alter the actual line itself, it's going to change that pitch dimension, but it does take a few extra clicks. And you also need to know to check it as well. From here, let's change the style of our entry door. So if we click our door and we go Control T, this is going to bring up the options. We'll drag this one across. From here, just a few small changes that we want to make it more visually appealing. We'll go to the door settings and opening. We'll go to the door leaf and we're going to change this one to no grid. So if we now go to our 3D, we'll notice we've got a nice glass panel just in the middle. From here, we also want to add a door handle in. So we'll go to door handle 8 and we want to change the materials as well. So if we now go all the way down until we get to model attributes, and then instead of a gloss white, let's go to metal steel, and we'll click this one just here. And we'll also do the same thing for the handle, metal steel, this one just here, and we'll go OK. Excellent. Let's give the same materials to this door just over here. We'll go to our door settings, model attributes, change it from the wood to metal steel. We'll go uniform door surfaces just here. And we also want the architrave to be uniform as well. So we'll go down to the model attributes and we'll change this to metal and we'll go OK. Let's jump into this door and we'll give it an outside casing as well, which we're going to change to, you guessed it, metal steel. So from here, we're going to go casing inside. We'll turn this one on and we're going to change this one to say 100. Then we'll go OK. Going to change the height of the doors up to 2.4 meters. Go OK. And we're also going to match the color that we've got just here. From here, we're just going to select this color just here. And now we've got our RGB. If you're curious about how to select colors like this, I've got a whole dedicated video. So just comment below and I'll send you a link. From here, let's select our wall. We'll go to options, element attributes, and then go to surfaces. We'll go to siding medium, this one just here. And from here, we just want to go to surface color and we will match these colors just here. So we'll go 152. We'll tap tab just once, 126, we'll tap tab once more, and we'll go 98. From there, we'll go OK. We'll notice a color changes, and then we can go OK. Hey, there we go. We've got a much warmer and cozier brown. We'll also select these walls just here, holding in shift, selecting both of these walls. If we go to building materials, go to outside surface face, and we'll also go to edge surface. If we turn these to concrete, light 23, we'll go 23. Hey, look at that. And it's coming together. From here, we just want to add in a ground line as well as our people. So for the ground line, we'll go to the polyline tool and we'll just select this bottom portion of the slab just here. We'll bring this across all the way over to here. Let's go say 8,000 and go enter. We'll click enter once more. That'll finish the operation. We'll hit escape to exit out of our tool. Sometimes it doesn't exit, so we have to hit it twice. We'll select our line and we'll go Control D. And then we'll pull this one down 150 mil and we'll go enter. 150 millimeters. Now we'll go Control D to drag this one across until it's just about there. Now to obscure this bottom portion of the slab just here, we're going to use a fill. We'll go to a drafting fill and we're just going to go down to foreground. Going to change this one to say white and then we're going to click over the top and click once more. Now we've got an outline on this one, so we're just going to turn that one off. From here, we'll also just note ground line. So if we go to the text tool, we double click this point just here, and we type in g.l. click outside. We've now got our text. Now if I bring this one down, and I'll also make sure it's 2 for the size of the text. We'll bring that one up. Now we'll typically also want to label our ridge height as well. So what we can do, we'll go to our text tool. And this time, instead of having to shift the text, we'll go to the anchor point just up here. So if we double click, we type in ridge height, go Control A to select all, and then we're going to put this to text size as 2. Oh, it's not going to load us, so we'll just click outside. Then if we hit escape, we select the text, so we don't have to do it all again. We'll just go 2, and we'll go enter. It's going to shrink all of that up in the direction that we've got the anchor point. All things that save us a bit of time. Now the height marker text doesn't match the rest of our text, so we'll just go in, go to elevation settings. Now just down the bottom, story level text style, we'll just set this one to 2 and we'll go OK. And that's going to bump all of that back up to 2. All our text is going to match. It's going to look very nice. From here, we want our chairs to match up with our table just here. So we're going to select our chairs and we're going to turn those to general. And our last part of the equation are these people and the plants. So these are just a bunch of lines and fills that we place over the top of the drawing. Now we could draw up our own people, or we could use the ones inside of ArchiCAD, but drawing our own takes a bunch of time, and the ones in ArchiCAD look a little bit stiff. I found these ones on Instagram and I really liked their aesthetic, so I just bought them and imported them into my ArchiCAD file. They do have a lot of polys, but for the sake of presentation, I feel like it's worth the trade-off. So from here, it's literally just a matter of pasting these in and changing our colors to suit. Now that the elevation is pretty much complete, next up is cutting a section through the building, which you will be able to do after you watch this video just over here. So go on and check it out.